Okay, let's do one more. Kyle, I like this topic. You came up with this. Here's the question for us, Kyle. What's your favorite Wichita State Shockers game? And let's go way back. In the history of, let's not go 30 years back, so to speak.
Mid-1960s.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for 45 minutes. No. Think back to the, and you've been watching Shocker games far longer than I have. I didn't grow up here. So I only came in 5.5 years ago when I moved here and learned, oh, these guys have a good basketball program here. And so I've seen a few. You've seen a lot. What's your favorite Shockers game?
Boy, this is tough. I came up with this question, and honestly, I still don't know the answer.
Okay.
Because there's been so many great games.
Yeah.
Like my first great memory as a Shocker fan was in high school when the Shockers won the Valley for the first time in countless years. I was at the game. It was against Illinois State. Mark Turgeon was the coach, and it came down to the last game of the season, and it was just a fantastic environment, post-game celebration, and so that was my first really great game and experience as a Shocker fan.
Okay.
But I think the right answer here is either the Gonzaga game in 2013.
Big one, yeah.
Or when they beat Ohio State.
Oh, my.
to reach the Final Four.
Yes. Full disclosure, I'm from Ohio, okay? So, especially when it comes to football, I'm a Buckeyes guy. That one, I got to say, and that was my first encounter with Wichita State, is watching what in the Elite Eight they're playing Ohio State. Ohio State had some NBA guys.
They were a 2-seed. Ohio State was.
Yeah, and Wichita State had already upset people just to get where they were, and then it's up for grabs to go to the Final Four. Were you? Yeah. What do you remember about that game? Where were you? Were you sitting there watching it somewhere? Or?
I was at home. Okay. I was nervous, as I am for most of those NCAA games.
Yeah.
And I just remember the Shockers were leading big for a majority of that game.
They were, big time.
Big time. It was like 15 or 20-ish. And so in the second half, the Buckeyes came back. And I was like, oh, no, we better not blow this. We have a chance to go to the Final Four here.
Yeah, I think they got to one possession.
They did, yes. Yeah. And so it came down to the end, and I believe Aaron Kraft was on that team, wasn't he?
Aaron Kraft, for his 11 years at Ohio State.
So, that game was exciting. Just the historical nature of that game going to the Final Four. It probably wasn't the best game to watch just from start to finish, but just a historical part of
that is a good game. Yeah, one of the best games and arguably the best game in Wichita State history. I have a game that I think is my favorite Shockers memory. Certainly not that one. But there was another NCAA tournament game that you may remember against another Kansas school, and I've got a prop here. Let me show you this. This was hanging in my man cave, and this is what it's rock shocked. This is the Wichita Eagle front page. Rock shocked when Wichita State beat KU, and it was the first time they played since the early '90s, if I remember right. And everybody knows KU won't schedule Wichita State for a regular season game, and so finally, because of just the way the tournament panned out, Wichita State got to play KU. And you see these two guys on there? Two of the best guys in the history of Wichita State basketball. Ron Baker and Fred. And man, that was just a memory. I'll never forget that.
Game.
It's hanging up in my man cave because it was just so special.
As a Shocker fan who's had to deal with KU fans for my entire adult life, boy, did that feel good.
I don't hate KU fans, and I respect KU for what they do and the history, and they're always good. But it's kind of that, little brother finally beating big brother in the driveway kind of thing, especially when big brother just won't play you all the time. And so what a sweet, savory moment that was for Shocker Nation.
Yeah, that'll definitely be one of my top games as well as my whole life. So.
Hey, what's your top memory? What games do you remember that's a favorite of yours? You can talk with us and dialogue with us on Facebook, on our Shockerland page, shockerland.com, and on Twitter @Shockerland as well. Thanks for joining us on Shockerland.